With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it is our extreme privilege to be on hand for the Super Bowl. And I can't help but look down at this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It's the AFL NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the Green Bay Packers winning the first two that got us kicked off and started towards where we are today.
And with the whole world watching, at the end of this game, at the end of tonight, one of these two sides, they get to etch their name in NFL immortality.
No doubt about it. They hold up the ultimate symbol of victory in this league, the Lombardi Trophy.
Years after Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Denver Bronco offense led by Case Keenum. And Keenum, as we get toward the end of the year here, what's your assessment of how he's done his first season in Denver?
Pretty much what I expected. A guy who's a terrific accessory, a guy that people rally around, but you need a great program around him. Great players out on the perimeter, guys who can run the football. And they're starting to get there on offense, but they expected the defense to carry them and give them a chance to get to the playoffs. And it kind of went down to the wire for them to battle for that shot. So I think it's been about what you would expect out of Case Keenum in Denver. And I do think that they're going to look.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-six TD.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And what in the world? Not sure if he just heard a whistle there or what, but for some reason he spiked the football. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Very left, very left. Roger, Roger, Roger. Yeah, we're good, we're good.
Keenum going to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down. Lindsey, the undrafted free agent, had a great college career at Colorado, but what he did to start this season and the way he came out of the gate, really impressive.
And sometimes guys just fit NFL teams where maybe you didn't see it coming. Because Phil Lindsey, as you mentioned, had an excellent college career at Colorado, but different question marks from different teams about size. Can he do this? Can he do that? The answer is he can do just about everything, and especially his ability to get out into open space out in the backfield and create big plays downfield. That's working quite well for him in the early going. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Keenum now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. And he'll be out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Cortland Sutton, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back. Tremendous poise. Confidence never lost. And obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On play action, they'll throw. It's complete to Golden Tate. And out across midfield down to the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Here's Foles. There he goes inside the 30. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he gets this one down to the 24. A nice gain of 21 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
For mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. And here's a look at the defense for... Denver.
Brandon Marshall's evolved into a very good all-around linebacker in the NFL. Can range from sideline to sideline as a tackler, drops well in pass coverage, and also rushes straight ahead as a blitzer. You name it, he's able to do it and do it well.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this down to the 10. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now Foles. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Smallwood. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw it, something quick.
And he's in. Front Eagles touchdown. Wendell Smallwood taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And oh, it's blocked. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at the 20. On 1st down, Keenum. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Keenum. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down.
When the spotlight is at its brightest.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Here's Keenum. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Philadelphia getting the football back here. And when you discuss the Eagles this season, it seems like every week we kind of go back and forth. Hey, they're done. They're still alive. They're done.
They're alive.
And that Week 15 win, I don't think many people saw that coming against the Rams in L.A.
I will guarantee many didn't see that coming for a couple of reasons. One, Philadelphia was coming off of a bruising battle that they lost in overtime against Dallas, where Dallas ran, I believe, 90-plus plays against them. That's hard to bounce back from, yet they did it. Also, the Rams were coming off a game where they didn't play really well on the road against Chicago. We all expected them to get back in form at home. So, no, not many people saw that coming at all. Give Philadelphia credit. They've kept themselves alive for a possible playoff spot and a chance to defend their Super Bowl championship.
Foles letting one go deep for the ends. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Denver getting the football back here, and this is a Broncos team, Charles, that is on the cusp of back-to-back losing seasons for the first time since 1971-72. That's hard to believe.
Yeah, it is hard to believe because when you think about this league, you think about consistent play. Denver is one of those programs. That's what you get. But they do have a ton of rookies making a big impact, so the future should be pretty bright. Bradley Chubb, you expected that out of him. Deshaun Hamilton, Cortland Sutton on offense. But how about Philip Lindsay? Undrafted, but now everyone would love to have him in their offense.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
15 yards through the air on a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right after him.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert from 19 yards away. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game, though.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a nice spin into some open field. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
13.
First down, a run with Smallwood. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going for it all. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, 26 yards. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And off comes to Smallwood. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On second down, there's the option going left. Space to run past the 20. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Here we go. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Here's Sproles. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. They'll try and run it now with Sproles. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Darren Sproles taking it in. And the Eagles add on to their lead. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Mike Bennett in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On 3rd down, that's Lindsey. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. Back deep is Darren Sproles. It's taken to the 26. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try to put points on the board.
This is caught. A big play there just before halftime. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
13.
They'll run with Smallwood, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. They'll look to throw here. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. So the halftime show in the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had gathered for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
What we got? Purple 64.
The first carry for Josh Adams. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Go! Come here!
They'll run it now out of the gun. 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Philly. And even 50 yards on the ground. So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward him on this. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Josh Adams taking it in. And the Eagles are pouring it on. Elliott on for the extra point.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, They should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 29. A huge play there for Denver. 51 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. In for the score. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's into the clear. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5.
Let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. Only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. It's a big play there for the Broncos. And even 40 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
This will be caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Play action. Now it's Keenum. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Royce Freeman, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
A run with Smallwood. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Ertz has it left side. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in this Super Bowl.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Show a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Darren Sproles. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darren Sproles, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles continue to roll. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And a long run there in the end to top it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on up?
He's got a man, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
22!
Off play action. Keenum. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. He's going to float this one deep right side. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. They start on the ground with Adams. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
But Brandon Pace comes into play now because...
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
All right, I got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
When he's saying I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there, let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. Back to throw here. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football. 2
big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Wendell Smallwood, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles are pouring it on. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Oh, this is blocked. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Hey, orange, orange! Orange, orange! Down, down! 22! 22! 22!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now it's Keenum. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Hey, silver, silver, silver.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shifts by him, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this.
Go, 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 run, run, run. 3 down, 3 down.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Check. Tempo, tempo, tempo.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Rush,
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. On third and short, Smallwood. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 36. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah. Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. He has really been buoyed here by a strong running attack. They've been great on the ground.
And have enjoyed the entire process, because oftentimes when you're running the football well, that's much more of a team effort. Everyone has to come together to make it work. Offensive line, wide receivers, the tight ends when they're on the field, maybe an extra running back leading. It is a really nice thing to see, a team type of thing. And guess what? The quarterback, he can get out of the locker room a whole lot faster after this game. The interviews are going to go to the running back.
Yeah, now we hit the home stretch here in the fourth with their lead.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
Cover 5-3. Cover 5-3.
Going right back to Smallwood. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.